pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody. We'll go with approval and amendment of the meeting agenda items.
Agenda is as presented, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Motion to approve.
I move to approve the meeting agenda items for January 23rd as presented.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the meeting agenda items for January 23rd as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Approval of minutes.
I move to approve the minutes of January 9th, 2019 as presented.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of January 9th as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Correspondence.
I have none, Mr. Chairman.
And Mr. Hale.
Oh, I do have one, sorry. I stand corrected on that. We received a thank you card from Schoenberg and family, Deer Lake County School District. Thank you for the bouquet of flowers sent in remembrance of Mary to her funeral. They're beautiful, and the family appreciate your thoughtfulness. With gratitude, Don Schoenberg and family.
Thank you. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Public comment? Hearing none, we'll go to reports. ASB.
Alright, I have the report here. So, the LHS Student Council has been very busy lately. In December, we did our annual door decorating and decorated a personal tree. We also held an assembly and had our ugly sweater contest. A total success. Students had so much fun putting the events and decorations together. Our junior class officers also held a brand new dance this year called the Winter Ball. Many students attended the function and made comments that they really enjoyed the decorations and how put together the event was. This fundraiser was to raise money for the juniors to put on prom for the seniors. In January, we also have been busy going. Student Council held a final study night last Thursday, January 17th. We had a lot of fun hanging out and getting help too. Student Council also provided snacks for all students. This Friday, January 24th, we will be holding a movie night on Honker Court. We hope to have a successful night. And that is all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board, any questions? Thank you very much.
Oh, actually, I have a question. Which movie are you guys gonna watch?
Ocean's 8.
Ocean's 8. All right.
Well, hopefully they don't learn too much.
Thank you. Teamwork.
With that, we'll go to 7.2, principals.
Who wants to go first?
Your choice.
I'm going.
Okay.
Young Miss Franklin kind of stole my thunder on a couple things, but that's all right. I'll add to it. We are. Hopefully, I don't jinx myself, but we're gonna have 3 seniors early grad tomorrow. Pretty excited about that. The accomplishments of all 3 of them. One has been a student that's gone through the system K-12 and has finished everything and will be done. The other 2 I think are really success stories. One's a step-up student and really excited where she's at and the stuff that she's gotten done and will be graduating. Kudos to everyone. We talked to staff today that's been involved with this young lady and the step-up program, so pretty excited about that. She's in the CNA class, and so we're excited. So not only is she graduating from step-up, we've got her headed in a career path, so excited for that. The other young man moved here at the start of the year and came in. We're able to work with him and his guardians and get some stuff in place, and also able to get him to graduate early and excited because he's got some places where he wants to go. I'm so excited about that. So some good things happening there with our seniors, getting them graduated early and getting them in the right direction. We did have the study night the other night. It was for an hour. And I didn't do an actual count, but I would say close to 50 students showed up to take advantage of teachers that were in the building and doing it. And the one thing besides thank you, this was great, is it needs to be a little bit longer. It was an hour long, so I think we will do it in the spring. We'll do another study night, and we'll probably go 2 hours long because we had students there and taking advantage of it. So that was really cool. A kudos to the teachers and student council for pulling that off.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Louie often does math study nights throughout the semester, and he's always got a really good turnout. His personality really draws him in, and he was there till 10:30 last night after the game, working with kiddos studying pre-calc.
And then calculus study nights tonight, 6 o'clock. So, I mean, and so I think it's something that, you know, as students hear about what things that Mr. Louie does, others, they've asked, you know, other teachers and stuff, and we just said, let's see if we can get them all to show up. And I think it was a good night. I heard good things from students and from teachers. So I think it's something we'll continue to do. And maybe, you know, pull in some different funds and make it, you know, maybe a little bit more food or something a little bit different to keep that going.
Maybe we could actually use our Facebook page to announce that too.
Yeah.
And maybe even school messenger, just because if parents were aware of it, they could encourage their kids to go also.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Look at it. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And then,
Mandatory.
the gala was, last weekend, and our NHS students were the servers, and I heard from an school member, she's at the school all the time anyways, Barb Simpson's raised again about how great it is to see our kids out and helping in the community. But I also then heard from Patterson, Mike, and he said that those kids worked their butt off and did a great job, and Mike and his wife are the food provider. So kudos to our kids and what they're doing in the community, so it's pretty awesome. And tomorrow's last day of semester finals, moving into second semester.
Well, I was at my first gala, and they did really do a
They
good job.
really did.
You know, they were efficient and quick,
Very impressive.
polite. It was good.
This is
And dressed nicely.
and Ms. Schulenberger is the lead on that. She runs our honor society. It's truly not National Honor Society. We don't do the National Honor Society deal. It's Lakeviews Honor Society. They're a great club and they work really hard, and it's neat to have that for our kiddos because it looks good. It's a resume builder.
Okay.
The go. Okay. I haven't given you an update on enrollment in a little while, so I just kind of wanted to give you an update. Union's at 44 students, which is pretty standard. They fluctuate a little bit. And Fremont and Hay were down, we're at 357, and we've had 28 students withdraw from the beginning of the year. So while I have some really big classes, some of them are shrinking. We keep getting kids in the classes in the grade levels that we already have a ton. I've got fourth grade classes at 30 right now. And then some classes are down to 22. So, 2 Wednesdays ago, we went to the high school and did Smarter Balance training. Our teachers have to be trained annually in order to administer the Smarter Balance test. And so Tara Counts does a PowerPoint and goes through it, and then they have so many weeks after school to complete the manual and the test. So to get updates on training. And then we started first aid this last Wednesday before last with Bobby, and we're going to have to extend that into another Wednesday to get that all finished up. This Wednesday, today, we hired Dean Richards to come down as a consultant to help us with our RTI process. I wasn't there when they did the original training. Mr. Cahill was there. We've had some staff turnover, so we hired him to come down and just help us with the process and having some fidelity to the program. We continue to do those three times a year, but the process was getting a little loose. We need to clean it up a little bit. Have some fidelity to the program. We formed new intervention groups, and those intervention groups always target math and reading deficits for our kids, and everybody goes into a half-hour, what we call a REACH group, every day for reading and on math. Last week, staff members traveled to the Whole Child Summit in Portland. We sent 5 or 6 teachers, and that was from the KPI grant from the ESD. And so they paid for the whole trip, and the registration was quite spendy. And the purpose of the teachers going there was to learn more about making some non-traditional connections with students. And Will Hicks showed me some stuff he's already implemented in the classroom that are pretty cool. He's got video clips that the kids make, and then the parents can access the video clips of things they're doing in the classrooms all the time. And he's starting a science project tomorrow, and they've been saving toilet paper rolls and wrapping paper rolls for literally months, and they are making marble runs tomorrow in the first grade classroom. So, Advantage Dental finished up dental services. They needed to come back. They didn't get all the kids done first round, and so 35% of our elementary population received some kind of dental services, maybe just fluoride treatments. but we at least got some referrals out for those kids with some severe dental issues. Janice Heigl was here last week as our math consultant and providing that professional development to our staff. Then she alternates every other month with Dean Richards, and they do language arts one month and math the other month. Randy Lattman was nominated by his peers as the Educator of the Year and was honored at the Chamber Day last Saturday. And Barry was there, and he was pretty touched. He was pretty touched by that. Union Parents Club is interested in painting new mascot on the gym wall above the bleachers. So they're going to look at some, they're still in discussion about having someone do it or a volunteer doing it. And we'll try and get that done before the springtime. And they also have kind of put the word out too that they have the new mascot on all kinds of t-shirts and sweatshirts, and those are available at vendors. And
It's a tarantulas or something, isn't it?
Yeah. They weren't giving up the Warriors.
Oh.
And then the Parents Club, in conjunction with admin and the teachers at Union, are working on coming up with a celebration to honor Union for the 100th year. We're really shying away from Labor Day and that happening Labor Day just because Roundup is so busy to start with and fair, and it's even worse this year. And so we're kind of leaning towards doing something around Memorial Day right before school is out that weekend, and we might get some older alumni here. But I'll keep you posted. Any questions? Thank you.
Yeah, I asked Mr. Rose to do a quick athletic update if you'd like to hear from him. Sure.
Okay, great. I'd like to speak to our plannings of assistance. I think I mentioned those before, but we've seen good success. If you recall, this was an addendum that we added to our student handbook at the beginning of the school year when Mr. Stratton noticed that wasn't in the text. And it allowed, if I remember right, 7 high schoolers and 4 middle schoolers to continue to play, maintain their eligibility while we work with him. So Mr. Counts, our admin intern, he's really taken on a lot. He's designed a really good graphic organizer to guide these students through this process. So he and I kind of split up our student athletes, met with them regularly, called parents, talked to teachers, sent them out with their notes, got teacher signatures, specifically what do I need to work on, and we've seen great success. So all but 1 high schooler and 1 middle schooler at this point have raised those grades, any failing grades, up to passing grades, and that middle schooler could still make that here with the progress this week. So we're just really pleased with that. It's been good. So, and we do basketball games Friday, bumping that up an hour to get Glide on the road earlier. Wrestling's on the road today. Middle school wrestlers went with the high schoolers today in Zama. And unfortunately we had to cancel our home wrestling tournament, so we're looking for something out of town. But wrestling is doing really well. They're tough. We have 14 guys. We lost one recently. We've had some guys with illnesses and such. But Shannon's doing a great job with our wrestlers and developing those skills. And they're really showing up tough against some of those bigger, tougher schools.
Yeah, I heard they did real well in Central Oregon.
They did, yes. Yeah, they placed 6th out of 20, if I recall, against some stiff competitions in schools that, Lane tells me are historically just wrestling powerhouses. Yeah.
Good. Awesome.
So when are the games Friday?
Starting at 2:30 JV girls. Yeah, and technically this is our second half of the league season, so we should flip-flop boys first. Boys girls. Our boys coaches couldn't make an adjusted game time. Since we have no school, Glide's on the road, we're like, well, let's bump it up, but work with the refs, and so we're gonna stick with girls, boys this Friday.
So 2:30, 4, 5:30, 7.
5:37.
Great. Anything else?
There's so much.
Spring sports are on the
horizon. Yes, yeah. Baseball and softball are filling up and trying to get some JV schedules in there. Had good meetings with, I see Sam a lot, Sam's around, and had a good meeting with Pat and Brett and Mike the other day for baseball. Saw Michelle Jacob was on campus today, and Bobby's working on our track schedule. I certainly appreciate that help as she puts that together.
Yeah. Good. Great. Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
We'll move to 8, old business.
We have none to share.
9, new business.
And Mrs. Warner is going to take the lead on the 6th grade field trip request.
Okay, well, It's pretty standard. It's pretty standard. It's the last week in June. They go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think they're still firming up some details as to where they're gonna go, but Camp Dakota, as usual, is on that agenda. They're going to, Newport built a brand new swimming pool, so they're gonna check that out. I know that's one of the places that they're gonna go. We always struggle with how much money we take out of the community fundraising. We were very fortunate that an outdoor school grant was about $8,900 maybe. That was, we knew we were getting. We got it last year too, but we didn't know until January or February, and they were almost done fundraising. So that class that went up as seventh graders last year took quite a bit of money up with them. And so we tried to really pare that down and just fundraise what we were gonna need.
Thank you for that, Susan.
It pains me to send that money up, believe me.
No,
$84.50 is what they got. So that helps out a ton in our community to not be taking that extra $8,500 out. We only have 3 sixth graders from Union going, but it's really great for those Union kids to have that interaction with kids before they are all together in the 7th grade. Hatfield Marine Science Center is on there, and then the Capitol, and I've met with the 6th graders multiple times because that is one of the places that they just struggle. It is so good for them to go to the Capitol, but they do struggle because everything echoes. And they take them clear up in the rotunda, up in the top, and there's a little tiny staircase, and every time they giggle, it echoes down below. So we're working on the behavior piece of that. So I don't anticipate all our 6th graders will go. We have some that are struggling with eligibility with grade. So, but they wanted to get their proposal in, and I think they're doing pretty well getting chaperones as well. Good.
Well, I think that would be motivation.
It would hope.
That's that trip.
I would hope. I kept lots of these folks in my office to help them get some work caught up before the end of the semester, and I don't know that we got it all done, so, but we worked on it. You guys have questions about this proposal?
No, just, I know on the consent agenda, my name's not on there because I probably didn't tell you again, but I do have a 6th grader, so I do intend to go again this year. And I have a 6th grader coming in next year, so I'll go next year too, so. Just right
That's
there.
gonna put you down for some years.
Just keep saying 2 years after relevant.
Yeah. So Sandy tells me who has their paper.
Every time I have a 6th grader,
I
just
put it on there.
my name on the list.
We'd have to discuss that. You're on the list.
I do the background every year on these.
So we're requesting the time for you guys to be gone because we're gonna be gone overnight, and then the buses at the reimbursable rate for the 3 days as well. And they pay the school district. I don't know how much we end up paying the school district, but they do contribute to the cost on the buses. So.
It's less than 70%, so it's easy.
So you contact our delegation when we go?
The teachers.
Maybe.
And we have had representatives and senators at different times come out and visit with the kids. One year when Mike McLean was a junior representative there, when he was first in the House, I believe, we were all there when I was still going, and he got in trouble because he let the kids go down on the floor of the gallery. We were up in the gallery, and then he let them go down on the floor where everyone votes, and he didn't realize that was a big no-no. But he gave them a nice tour that year, and it kind of just depends on where they're at and if they're available. But we usually have some contact with them. And they always remark on how well behaved and respectful our kids are, and so that's why we started really getting to them.
So 2 years ago when I went, I was a little disappointed our delegation wasn't involved. The governor made time, but the delegation.
So we've had mixed bags of depending.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the 18-19 6th grade field trip request as presented.
Been moved to approve the 2018-19 6th grade field trip request as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Art class, 2nd semester plan course statement. Mr. Truck.
Yes, looking at the old plan course statements, from what I could find, there was Art 1, Art 2, Art 3, and Art 4. And I think, if I recall, my next door neighbors and stuff, as they taught, that's how they taught it through the years, and I think some things have changed anyways, long story short, Mr. Bear approached us and would like to teach this 3D art class. And a lot of stuff he's teaching is spattered throughout our Art 1, Art 2, Art 3, and Art 4. But I thought it would be best to combine it all into one class because it's not through a 4-year process, it's just this one semester class. So I asked him to write this kind of course statement up for this subject, and he was excited about it. And so that's the reason why I'm asking for your approval for this class for this semester.
This is probably pretty common in other schools, or is
So the
this?
3D art,
Yeah.
I think it just depends on the, what's in the wheelhouse of your art teacher.
Right.
Some art teachers are really good with this, or this, and this is something he wanted to tack. And I know he's gonna try to do some ceramics and possibly use some 3D printers.
Awesome. Kids that are into that?
And I think it's when you teach electives, if you can use what their expertise are, you wanna bring that in. So I'm excited about it.
Participation in art's pretty high.
It's leveled out, you know, turnover up and down, but it's a class where you can go in and if you do your work, you're gonna do all right. So I think he's doing fine. Yeah. They're painting some murals in the cafeteria. You don't see it unless you eat, because they're in the serving line. So he has one of his classes updating a wall, painting some murals, and it looks really cool. So I know that a lot of kids enjoy what they're doing and enjoy that art class. And it's that one class we have that allows students to express themselves in an artistic way. We don't have very many of those because of our size. So I think it's vital. And excited to see what he does with this class.
Any other discussion? We have a motion.
I move to approve the second semester LHS 3D art class plan course statement as presented.
Second.
It's been moved to approve the second semester LHS DMS 3D art class plan course statement as presented and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Consent agenda.
Not for your consideration.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Announcements.
I have none, Mr. Chair.
Next board meeting agenda items.
We've got not quite a list, but a list, I guess. We're going to have a work session and then start introducing you to some aspects of the 2019-20 instructional calendar. Within Mize, needed a project for her administrative program, so she has been doing a wonderful job assisting with that, so we'll be a team on that, presenting that, and we'll look forward to it. My evaluation will continue. Elementary presentation, says some reports. Mrs. Warren, you want to elaborate on that?
It's to be decided.
Okay.
We just wanted to get on there because you guys have had really full agendas. And so I don't know exactly what teachers are coming in.
Okay. Mrs. Bauer wants to do annual horticultural field trip request, new business. Superintendent Thompson will be here from ESD to present the local service plan. That's a new business item. And then we'll have the baseball, softball volunteer requests. That's what it looks like.
All right. Adjournment.
Move we adjourn the meeting.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.